So in getting myself acquainted with the LX700 series pianos from Roland, it sort of almost requires a different way of thinking for me to really appreciate what's going on. I remember when sampling first came in, it was so exciting. We went, wow, listen to that. That's a recording of a real piano, and that was very exciting. Of course, the limitations of that became obvious fairly quickly, that you were triggering a recording of somebody else playing a piano. And whilst they'd got more and more sophisticated in your way of controlling those recordings, nonetheless, at the end of the day, all you were ever doing was controlling a recording. Of course, an acoustic piano doesn't make a sound like that. There is no sound recorded in the string. You create the sound out of nothing every time you play. Well, with this pure acoustic modeling that we're dealing with here, that's exactly how these sounds are created. So when I play a note on the piano, it's not triggering a sample. And I wasn't aware of that when I first played these pianos. I just went, wow, this is incredible. This is just like playing a great acoustic piano, only whoever regulated it and tuned it and everything did a better job than anyone I've almost ever heard, because it's all so just how you want it. The idea that when I touch a note here, the piano is creating that sound, just like an acoustic piano creates the sound. Of course, it does it a different way. We've got electronics in here, not strings. But when you think about it, playing a digital piano or playing any piano, an acoustic piano is still a machine. It's still a box with wires in it and lots of connections and things. That is different type of machine. Nonetheless, a great piano, whatever it is, let's forget about the distinctions, is about how well can I as a player, through the keyboard and the pedals and just the feeling I get from the instrument, it vibrating, how well can I control the sound and achieve what I want to express myself through that instrument. This pure acoustic modeling is the best thing I've found yet in a digital piano for getting my expression through the instrument, for it responding to every little thing I do, and it giving me the feedback I need when I play, through the keys, through the way the sound responds, and as I say, even through the whole thing vibrating, the speakers in the cabinet. You feel that, particularly playing on a wooden floor, which I'm not today. But that idea that I can express myself and I don't have to make allowances for the instrument. You get to know a great acoustic piano that you play often, and whatever allowances you've made just disappear into the background, and you feel like it's responding to everything you do. That's what's possible here. And of course, there's a whole lot of editing available. I've just sat at this piano for 20 minutes here, playing around with changing the response of the keys, the hammer hardness, all sorts of things to get it to be the piano I want it to be. Once it's like that, the way it responds to everything I do. And there's a whole lot of things in here. I mean, we know now that when you play a note on a piano, of course, other strings vibrate in response to that, particularly if you've got a chord held down. If I just put some notes down here without letting them sound and then hit another key, you hear those other strings that I've held the dampers off responding. That's such an important thing to the overall sound of the piano. There's also some wonderful little things I've heard in here, what we would probably call imperfections, but they're not. They're what make a piano have texture and have its personality, are in this modeling. And so when I just hold down an octave, one of my complaints about digital instruments over the years has been it's too perfect. It's always just so spot on that it doesn't sound real. Here I can hear the beating, and it's random, this beating between the differences between those two notes, and particularly when you put it with another chord. It's got movement in it, and every acoustic piano has that, and for many years digital instruments didn't, they just sat there. Another really telling point is the decay, and if you wait around long enough holding a note on most digital instruments, you hear when it fades out. It's almost like the programmers went, that's long enough, no one's going to play a note longer than that. An acoustic piano just never gives up. It keeps ringing, and that beautiful thing where you go, is that still going or isn't it? You never hear a good acoustic piano end a note if you hold it. And here, I won't do it now because we'll be here for too long, but I've sat here all over this piano just playing notes and holding them and listening carefully, and it's still going. And it's still going. And then I can't tell when it stopped. What's important about that, of course, is the beautiful ending of a piece where you come to something and you go, and you want that not to die away till you're ready to let go of the pedal, if you do. But also, when you're rolling a chord, I, as a jazz player, often will want to build over a whole chorus rolling chords, and with early digital instruments I could hear it stealing notes as it came to the end of its polyphony. Now, we haven't had that for a while, but nonetheless there's something about rolling on a digital instrument that prior to this didn't quite respond in the real way. So I asked the tech guys here when I first sat down at this piano, what's the polyphony? And the answer was perfect, because it's the same as an acoustic piano. The polyphony is infinite. That's a great number.